What if I told you that you could serve up nearly 20 grams of protein, a big hit of calcium, and a rainbow of other nutrients, all before your kids even leave for school? And the best part? It's breakfast my kids actually beg for. Broccoli, potato and tofu. Stick around because I'll break down the exact nutrients, the easy method, and a little story about how I answer the classic "where do you get your protein" question. And that's not from an eye roll point of view, because I too used to eat meat. It's from a data point of view, because you can just take the emotion out of it and answer. Welcome back to Learning from Plants, where I share my journey to find the best, most nutritious foods for my family without overcomplicating breakfast. If you want simple science-based meals that your kids will love, you're in the right place. Today I'm sharing a favourite, our broccoli, potato and tofu breakfast. It's not just delicious, it's a powerhouse of protein, calcium, iron and so much more. I'll walk you through the recipe, the exact nutrient breakdown at the end. I'll show you how a simple pesto can take the meal up a notch. Plus, I'll share a quick story about a conversation with a taxi driver that might just change the way you think about plant-based protein. So here's what we'll cover. 1. The simple ingredients and how to cook them for maximum nutrition and taste. 2. The full nutrient breakdown, protein, calcium, iron and more. Why this breakfast is a staple in our house and how to make it even better. The classic "where do you get your protein" question answered with data. Bonus, how to boost this meal with a quick dairy-free pesto. Let's start with the basics. For each person you'll need 1/4 cup chopped broccoli, cooked from fresh, 1 cup of sliced potatoes, which is about 200 grams, half a block of firm tofu, about 122 grams. Or tofu, which tofu you use does change the values, so you can check on the back of your packet. 1 tablespoon of olive oil, salt, pepper, and your favourite spices. Now, I know some people worry about frying veggies, but here's the thing. I don't deep fry. I use olive oil for its omega content and flavour, but I keep the heat medium, never high. The potatoes get a nice golden brown, not burnt. Once I flip them, I add the broccoli so it caramelizes a bit, but also stays crunchy and digestible. The tofu is scrambled in a separate pan, super forgiving. Just mash, season, and let it cook gently. This isn't a breakfast you can just walk away from, but honestly, it's a pleasure to make. You get to watch the colours come alive, and the kids always come running when they smell it. Now, let's talk numbers, because I know you care about what's actually in your food. And the great thing is, by going through this journey, my kids have been able to look at the data and be informed and care too. Protein, 19.9 grams per serving. Calcium, 363.1 milligrams. Iron, 3.7 milligrams. Selenium, 21.3 micrograms. Zinc, 2.2 milligrams. Vitamin K, 96.3 micrograms. Folate, 95.6 micrograms. Vitamin B6, 0.9 milligrams. Fiber, 7.9 grams. Omega-3, 1 gram. And omega-6, 7.9 grams. Now, there's also a host of other micronutrients, and I'll also put those up. So you can either pause, take a screenshot, or just come back to refer to it later. That's a seriously nutrient-dense breakfast. And if you're wondering how these numbers stack up for your family, here's the calcium requirements I refer to for my children and myself. You can pause and come back to them later again, and here's the protein requirements I use. I have talked through all of these in my last video, and I'll put them in the description so you know what I'm referring to and what I'm basing my meal plans and data on. So, why do we love this breakfast? First, it gets broccoli into my kids before 9 a.m. and they love it. Second, it's filling and keeps them going until snack time. Third, it's flexible and you can add more vegetables. Swap in sweet potatoes or more different kinds of vegetables. Have it in a wrap, as one of my children does. And yes, it does take a little more attention than a smoothie or a quick scramble, because you do have to watch and flip the potatoes and keep an eye on them. But it's so worth it. Plus, it's a great way to get the kids involved in the kitchen. So the "where do you get your protein" story I've been promising you. There's a quick story. I was in a taxi the other day, actually yesterday, And the driver pointed out a South Indian restaurant. I said, oh, it's vegetarian, great. I might find something vegan there. I love South Asian food. I've been to Goa, and a lot of the time they switch out the ghee, which is normally made from butter, and such a delicious variety and such a wonderful creative use of using vegetables and lentils, and it's so tasty. So I was excited. He looked at me and said, but where do you get your protein? Classic, right? But I didn't think, oh, classic question, because I was brought up with the food pyramid, thinking this is where you get your protein. Exactly, the one that flicks in front of your mind right now. That's the picture. It's so ingrained. This is where you get your protein. This meat, this fish, that's the part that is your protein. This milk, this cheese, this is where you get your calcium. It's so ingrained. So I simply told him how much was in what. And actually this morning's breakfast had almost 20 grams of protein, plus iron, calcium and more. He was surprised. Most people don't realise how much you can get from plants. So next time someone asks you, you'll have the numbers ready. And instead of an eye roll or frustration, just know that they're coming from a place of the data is that picture that they've been fed at school, which is really where most of us learn it, and even in schools now. And it's just about changing that picture with data and adding to it. Yes, you do have protein in those sources, but more food sources need to be added to that picture. So have the numbers ready. If you want to take this breakfast to the next level, my kids love it with a fresh dairy-free pesto. I just blend basil, cashew nuts or pine nuts if I have them, and I do toast the cashew nuts in a pan. I put a splash of apple cider vinegar. I don't always, you can swap that for lemon juice if you like. Olive oil, salt and pepper, and a bit of garlic as well. I don't add parmesan. And a lot of the time, I know some people add nutritional yeast. I don't add that normally. The cashews, nutritional yeast would be good for, I guess, B12 as well. So you could add that. So the cashews add even more iron and healthy fats. And I'll do a video on pesto soon, so make sure you're subscribed. If you find these tips helpful, do me a favour and hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow, and don't forget to check out my breakfast playlist for more easy nutrition packed ideas. There's a playlist for snacks, packed lunches, dinners, or there will be, and even desserts coming soon. So share this video with anyone who's looking for healthy, family-friendly meals. So there you have it, a simple and nutrient-dense breakfast that's perfect for the whole family. Remember, these recipes are flexible, so swap out ingredients to suit your needs. Thanks for watching, and thanks for going through my notes, and I'll see you in the next video when we'll explore even more delicious and healthy meals. Happy cooking!